We're good. Hello, I am Bryce Tubbs. I'm super excited for today's interview. Today with me is Muzamil Jehanzieb. He is the founder, CEO, and life coach at ThyCoach. He's a public speaker, author, and a blogger too. And he loves to share his experiences and observations with the world for the greater good. His mission is to help and touch 100,000 people worldwide by 2025 and to provide tools and strategies that help them break free. I'm really excited and I cannot wait to share the story with you guys today. Is there anything else that you'd like me to add to the introduction?
Well, thank you very much, Bryce. This is really an honor that, you invited me to be on your channel, to be on your, YouTube channel or your channel for LinkedIn. I really value it, and I think you've done a great job introducing me. Though I'm not that much of a personality, but just to add a little bit of brief about my past, I basically belong to a teaching profession. I was an assistant professor where I was teaching about clinical research and how the clinical research is conducted. Like in today's scenario, we have COVID-19, which is going on, and people are in-house. So the medicines, the vaccines that are being, found or that are being researched on, the data that is gathered, all those preclinical and clinical trials that are going on, where we are trying to find a medicine about how, that medicine will be available to the general masses. So there's a segment that's called data management. So I used to handle data management for a couple of companies, and that gave me a chance also to be into IT sector as well. So I have bits and pieces of, different tastes of different segments, which is clinical research, IT, and academics, so many more. Yeah.
Okay. So what was the, turning point that caused you to want to get into coaching?
So basically, can you just repeat? I just could not, hear your question.
So you were doing a lot of data science.
Can you repeat your question, please?
What was the turning point in your career that caused you to want to go into coaching?
Yeah, basically, to be honest, I had everything. My last job, I was working as a general manager in one of the hospitality companies. So honestly, if you say I had everything, but then you feel that are you fulfilled with what you're doing? So are you giving back to the society what you're doing? I mean, is it worth that you're continuing with? And then the second question was, are you getting the time freedom? Are you getting the location freedom? Do you have that financial freedom which you want? And all those questions were not answered. And in the meantime, because I had a career wherein I was working as an assistant professor, and I used to mentor and I used to coach my students, okay? And that was basically what prompted me to get into coaching, because I was already doing good in that sector. And in my last job, though I was a general manager, but my CEO and my other senior staff members, they used to push me to motivate these guys, these our students. They used to push me to motivate our people who used to be least motivated. They used to be at the edge and started to drop off from the job, and simply say, no, we're not continuing because of salary issues, because of their personal issues. And I used to be brought in to talk to them, and they used to get very good results. And from my management point of view, and from my these employees point of view. So everybody used to be, I used to bring all of them on board, and that's also one of the prompts where I thought that it's better to get into coaching. And coaching is one of the good industries where you are doing what you want. Also, you are you're gaining your potential, you're reaching to masses, you're helping people in overcoming their, what you call where they are stuck. So there is an area where a person is stuck and he wants to get to another area. So from here, you help them to get there. So it's like, that's where your role is in. So that's why I chose coaching.
Mm. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you did. Who do you
Thank
like
you.
to work with like nowadays?
So I do have clients. I do have people who I work with. You know, so we have a community of coaches who help people. We have people around the world. Because Dubai, I live in Dubai, so Dubai is a cosmopolitan city. So there are people around the world who come in, and they have some of the other issues. And in today's environment, when everything is like on a lockdown,
Yeah.
and people have already issues with respect to their jobs, with respect to their careers. They're not sure that what will happen after 3 months. People are already on a notice period, so they really don't know what's coming up, what next. So that's where basically you know we have that kind of people wherein we get in touch with them, try to motivate them, um, try to bring them to a platform wherein they feel like, yes, there still is hope in life, and we can have a better life post COVID-19.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think life's going to look like after COVID-19's over?
So life will not be the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's an honest answer. Life will not be the same. Life is going to be different because everything has changed. So you've seen that this WHO already spoke about digital currencies, not to use notes. So having a digital currency and going digital will be the best way forward. Because if you just recently might have seen a news which came in, I think New York Times or so. Just correct me if I'm wrong. They're quoting the news, where it was published. So Jeff Bezos, the boss, the CEO of Amazon, in last 3 months he has made $24 billion.
Wow.
So rest of the people are just on a shutdown, and it's only e-commerce which is running. So you can see the potential. So that's the potential which is going to be there post COVID-19. I think most of the world, whether we like it or not, it will be digital. So you will have to go digital. You will have to find your own digital footprint in order to make your presence felt, and grab your share of business if you really want to be known. So I do have certain channels where that's why to my clients also, I tell them that it's the best way now, which is, though it is coming as a force, that's coming as a push to get into digital space, but there's no other way around. So that's the way that you can go forward and make your share from the market.
Okay. What are some tips that you have for the people watching to grow their online footprint?
Can you repeat the question?
So for right now, for the people who might not have been ready to, go online, what are some tips that you have for them to expand online?
To expand online, see, the first thing that you need to have is, if you are, suppose, if like there are different segments of people that this may apply differently. Suppose if we are talking to people who are selling like in e-commerce, who want to get into e-commerce. So the first thing that they need to do is they need to find a platform wherein they can sell. That is a website. So the first thing a person can have is a domain name and get into an e-commerce website and start selling. This is where he will have his own platform. The second, the best way would be that share a platform. Get into a platform like Amazon, like eBay, or some other platforms, and be digital. And like LinkedIn is a very beautiful digital platform wherein professionals from across the world come in and share their experiences. So this is also a digital platform. There are many people who are selling on Facebook. There are many people who are selling on LinkedIn. There are many people who are selling. So it depends what you are selling and what you have. If you have a physical product, then the best thing best thing to do would be to get a website and build it as an e-commerce site and go ahead.
Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah. E-commerce, man. E-commerce is really
Yeah.
cool when you get it to work.
E-commerce is going to be the future.
Yeah. The challenge with e-commerce is always like the margins, because especially when you start building your own website, because then you have to get the traffic for it. And, some people struggle with organic traffic versus paid traffic. It's really, really fun when you actually get it working. So you're talking about in your profile, that your goal is to go and touch 100,000 people. Can you talk about, like more about what that looks like and how you guys are going to approach that goal?
See, that's one of my goals. That's one of my focused outcomes that I am looking for, and I'm working towards it. Number one is that you have to make sure that when you reach to a person or when you reach to your clients, and they see that outcome, they see that change. So because there's a system that I have a very beautiful system, which works every single time. So now I'll give an example. So how does it work? So you've seen this just an example. I just want to quote here is Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
So Starbucks, you go every single time you purchase a coffee, it's a latte. Suppose you go for latte, and latte is like, you go to Dubai, you'll get the same latte. You go to Johannesburg, you go to Switzerland, you go to India, anywhere in the world, you get the same latte. So what's the logic behind this? The logic behind this is that you are getting a coffee made by the system, not by the person. Suppose if I am new and I join Starbucks and it's for a week, they train me. After a week, I'll be making the same latte that a person has been making for 7 years or 5 years or 10 years. You never know, right? So this is the system. So we have a similar system that works for every single customer. So that's why what we are proposing to our clients is that when you come on board, you will go through certain system, step-by-step system, and it's a 10 weeks program. And after every step, you will find that there's a breakthrough. So now if the question will be that, if there is not a breakthrough, that means you have not done it right. You have to do the system again. You have to redo that particular step to get the breakthrough, because the system has been proven and it has worked for every single time. No matter you are working on your health, no matter you are working on your wealth, on your family, on your relationship, on your academics, on your business. So that's where my reach to the clientele that I am looking for is far and wide. So I'm not having a particular niche that I'm only working with, suppose people who have problems with the relationship. No, because my system is there. So when we put in the system, so the result is definitely that. So that's how I'm aiming for 100,000 people by the end of 2025.
Okay. Yeah, that's 10,000 per. Okay, that's cool. Is that people like who've gone through the system, or is that people who've seen your videos, or what does that look like?
The people who've seen my videos, I mean, they just see a bit of it. It's like, you can't get the feel of the entire system. You have to get into the system and you have to take the first step, and that first step is followed by another step. So you have some tasks that you do, and then you come back and you discuss with me, after a week. So every week there will be sitting for at least 2 hours, and that will gain you, how you have done the task. So to get you through that, it's like debriefing what you have done for the past week.
Yeah. So what I was asking was like, so is that like 100,000 clients, or is that just 100,000 people who've heard your name?
100,000 clients.
Wow, that's pretty good, man. That's really cool. That's really cool. That's a good goal.
And I might take your help in that as well. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, like, your message is pure. I like talking to you, and since you have a lot of experience and you have that proven system, I think that it's really gonna work well. Especially in like the foreign country, because there's not as much competition as what there is like in America. So you're gonna kill it, man.
Of course.
Exactly. What does success look like to you?
See, success, to be honest, success has different meanings when it comes to different persons or different people living in different type of, they live different lives. They have different aims in their life. Like when we come to a person who's obese, who wants to maybe, get better in the shape.
Mm-hmm.
So when they want to get better in the shape, so for him or her, the success is reducing a couple of pounds and getting back into the shape and putting back, those clothes which are lying in the closet for a long time because they can't put them back on. So success basically has a different kind of a definition, as I just said, for different people. But to me, it's basically that what you aim for, what your goal is, and you work towards that goal, and then finally you reach it. You submit that goal. That goal can be reducing few pounds, getting your company or getting your organization's revenues from certain amount and doubling it in another two years, or for a person to be able to overcome the negative beliefs that they have. Like there are many people who want to become entrepreneurs. They don't like their jobs, but they're stuck there and they just don't know how to come out of it. And when they even want to come out of it, there are people around them who are surrounding them and who tell them, no, you can't do it.
Yeah.
And these people, we call them as toxic people. Why toxic? Because they're not adding any value. They could not do something. That's why they're telling you that you can't do anything. So there's a saying by Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is one of the top coaches, and he said that you are an average of 5 people that you spend your time with.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to see that which people you spend your time with. If you are spending time with people who always drag you, pull you down, and tell you that you can't do it, no, it's not possible. See, I could not do it. I'm more in age than you, so you can't do it. Your dad could not do it. So, and maybe his dad is, doing good in his business, so he cannot do it, and you can't do it. So these are the people who basically pull you down and tell you that you can't do it. But deep inside, this man or this person knows that I want to do it. Until the time he doesn't get rid of those people, he can't do it. And this is one of the part of our system wherein we help our clients recognize what are your what are the toxic people that are in your life, and what are the masterminds in your life who try to motivate you and tell you that yes, you can do it, go ahead. That kind of synergy and energy between the people, wherein they the energies are coherent, and they sort of tell them that, okay, I know I couldn't do it, maybe I did not have that leverage or that kind of privileges, but you do have, I am on your back, yes, you can do it, go ahead. So then that person feels that energy, and he can live his dream. So that's why most of us who are in 9-to-5 jobs, they don't like. I'm telling you personally, I never liked my job. Mm-hmm. But then I had to be there because I had to pay my bills. And then there is this fear as well. Always, what if I take an action and it doesn't work? And that's why people most of the times, they are in a perfect inaction zone. You know what perfect inaction means?
That means
they think that let me get it right first, let me get it perfect first, and then only I will take the action. So there's another, there's a saying which says that an imperfect action is million times better than a perfect inaction, because results are basically based on action. If you don't take action, results will not be there. Mm-hmm. So that's what we teach our clients. That's what we tell our clients, that you got to identify the people you spend your time with, because see around your people. If you are not successful, you see the people that you spend your time with, they will not be also successful. Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of the metaphors that I give to my clients is that consider that you are, you're getting a chance to spend your time with, 1 week's time with Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, who is no more with us now, and people of similar cadre. You will spend 1 week with them, and then see that with after that week, what kind of thinking you will get. You'll not get a thinking that you want to continue with your job, or you want to like this job. The thinking will be changed. The space of horizon of your thinking will be so huge and so wide, because they don't discuss people, they don't discuss any other things. They discuss ideas, how to grow, how to benefit the society. So that kind of an impression will be with you as well. You'll carry that forward.
Okay, cool. Are you working on any special projects right now? Or I know that things are a little shut down, but do you have any cool projects that are coming out?
The cool project that are coming out is that I'm working on my book.
Okay.
That's going to be, I'm planning to, publish it by June, by the end of June. Hopefully it should be published. So I'm giving a very, I would say, relaxed deadline for myself. I'm already done with around 4 to 5 chapters of the book. Number one. And number two, I'm working on my course. I'm generating 2 courses basically. One is for the coaching, which is a separate course, and it's a digital course, of course. And then another one is for how to become, an Amazon seller, because I myself am an Amazon seller as well. So, that was my webinar just a couple of days ago. Last week I had a webinar about it. I have published it on my YouTube channel as well. So how to become, this Amazon seller, and I'm also working on a course for that as well. So I think that both of them should be out. The course on coaching is coming soon. It might come by mid of June or so, or end of May. And for the book, that's coming by end of June, hopefully. And my Amazon course, I think I'll give it a deadline as well by end of June. If not end of June, then mid of July, definitely.
Okay. What is the book about?
The book is about, the title of the book that I have chosen is From Ordinary to Extraordinary. It's talking about how you can, take an advantage of the current position and be where you want to be in an extraordinary space, which you never thought of. You might have thought of, but then unfortunately you couldn't, capitalize on that, or that could not precipitate because, unfortunately, you were not able to identify who you are spending your time with, whether you have a mastermind in your life, whether you have toxic people in your life. How to prioritize your tasks, how to prioritize your, what you want to do, what you don't want to do. Because what I believe is that every person on the face of this earth has a reason that he's been brought in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so he has a story, and he needs to tell that story. But the problem is that people don't identify. By the time they identify that I have a story, they're close to the deathbed, and they can't take any action, or they are not, or they are surrounded by those people who tell them always, no, you can't do it. My father has never written a book, so how will you write a book?
Yeah.
And the problem with this is, these people they can be anywhere and everywhere. They can be in your office, they can be in your closest friend circle, and I also say that they can be your closest family. It can be your mother, it can be your father, it can be your wife, or anybody else for that matter.
It could be
so
you
it's
too.
Of course.
That's the hidden one.
Yeah, you got to be aware.
Yeah, can you talk about that a little bit? Like let's say that someone is struggling inside of their own mind, and they're struggling with those thoughts, but how can they start to gain some awareness of those thoughts?
See, to be honest, you cannot understand, or you cannot figure out who is, I mean, who you cannot figure out how to come out of it until and unless you don't identify what your core values are.
Mm.
So I'll tell you, I'll give you an example. There's a person who is, who's working in a job, and he gets humiliated somehow, or he feels that he's not respected, but he still continues.
Mm.
Why? Because he feels that he has some responsibilities, he has some obligations that he has to fulfill, and that's why he's continuing. Otherwise, he wouldn't. So, but then one day he thinks that no, I don't want to continue. No matter what, I quit. And his boss, who's been or anybody for that matter in the office, he's been like treating him like nothing, or not giving him the respect he deserves. So I mean, this person for his life will not understand why he left the job. He will say simply, yeah, the job is not good, the environment was not good, but he will not identify this, that his core value,
Mm.
which is respect, was not met. You understand what I mean? So
Mm.
the core value here is respect. So his first core value is respect. There can be many. There can be many core values. There can be many core values, but the first for him is respect. So that was not met. He wasn't feeling, that he should be a part of that organization, or these people that are surrounding him in that organization are, giving him that kind of respect he deserves. So he quits, and he unfortunately finds another job. Maybe he hits a similar, you can say, company wherein whether he is respected or he's not respected, that's the second job. But first few months will be definitely good. So he carries on the first few months. So unfortunate scene is that we come from a background, we come from an upbringing where we are always taught that we have to go to school, get good grades, get a good job. But
Mm.
unfortunately, we go to school, we try to get some good grades. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But we always, of course, but we always do not get a good job. And this kind of a mentality and this kind of upbringing is literally, keeping people searching for a job wherein they can make their living. They are not living their life. They are searching for a job wherein they just want to make a living. That's it. Because that's what they have been taught. Nobody has told them that, there is a possibility that you can have your own business. You
Mm.
can, you can be an entrepreneur. You can be a job creator. Look in the world today. The population is so huge. So when you tomorrow see, like my kids, after 5 or 10 years, when they come into the market, the competition is going to be huge. So where is the job? So if we all look for jobs, who will create the job?
Mm.
You have to understand this.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very important that, other than this, go to school, get good grades, and get a good job. We also tell people that we also tell our students, our kids, that apart from this, you have to also think that you can be an entrepreneur and create jobs. So that's very important, which we don't. I mean, none of the schools tell us. They make us good educators and good employees. All the schools, they produce good employees, but they don't produce good entrepreneurs. They don't produce good people who can create jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very important.
Yeah. Yeah. I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate, being able to learn a little bit more about you and your cool vision. Where can people find out more about you?
I think participating in your interview has already done the job.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for that. But I have my YouTube channel, which is with ThyCoach, ThyCoach, ThyCoach. And I also have a website wherein all my details are there, from where I get my clients as well, which is ThyCoach.com. So HTTPS and then ThyCoach.com. And my email ID is Muzamil at ThyCoach.com, so people can contact me there. And on my LinkedIn also, I have given all my details, so people can find me on LinkedIn as well.
That's good.
And if people are interested in having a personal, I would say, connection, they can also connect me on Facebook as well. And I'm also on Instagram as well.
Okay. Thanks so much for being on this. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate taking the time to get to know you a little bit better.
Thank you, Bryce. It was
Excellent.
really an honor, and I really thank you for giving me an opportunity and considering me to be a part of your, this endeavor that you have taken on, and wherein you are interacting with different kind of people across the globe, and bringing them on a platform and giving, asking them certain set of questions, which is really appreciable. I really appreciate you for this, and you're doing a wonderful job. And I wish you really good luck, Bryce.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. And it was really an honor and a pleasure to be on this interview with you, on this talk with you. And, let's stay connected.
Stay connected, yeah. And to those who are watching, if you want to take some steps to improve your life and start to get interviews and just great content from people just like Muzamil, who is, changing the world and enhancing their life one person to 100,000 people at a time, go ahead and join our groups. There's going to be a link inside the description below so you can go and get around like-minded people. Because as Muzamil was saying, you are the combination of the people you spend your time with. So come and get connected to successful people. And I cannot wait to see you guys in the next interview. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you soon. See you later.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Bryce. See you.
Done recording.